Welcome to AI on Advanced Intelligence podcast, where we explore the cutting-edge innovations reshaping our digital world. Today, we're diving into a breakthrough in artificial intelligence that's making chatbots smarter, faster, and almost human-like. Imagine asking an AI about renewable energy policies and getting not just facts, but a nuanced analysis that connects economics, climate science, and real-time data. That's the promise of Agentic Retrieval. Augmented generation or Agentic RAG. Joining us today is a special guest, an AI researcher who's worked on these systems. Let's get started. Let's start with the basics. What's RAG and why is it such a big deal?
Great question. RAG stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation. Think of it as a librarian teamed up with a storyteller. The librarian, the retriever, fetches the right books, or in this case, data, from places like databases, websites, or research papers. The storyteller, the generator, usually a large language model like GPT-4o, then turns that data into a coherent answer.
So it's like Googling something and having the AI summarize the top results.
Exactly, but traditional RAG has limitations. Let's break it down. 1. Naive RAG, the earliest version, it's like using a basic search engine. You type best Italian restaurants and it fetches results based on keywords. Simple, but it can't understand context. If you ask, what's the best Italian restaurant for a romantic anniversary? It might just list popular spots without considering ambience or reviews. 2. Advanced RAG. This semantic search. Instead of keyword matching, it understands meaning. For example, searching for sustainable agriculture in dry areas would prioritize documents about drought-resistant crops, not just generic farming tips. 3. Modular RAG. Imagine a Swiss Army knife. It mixes tools like combining web searches with SQL databases to handle complex tasks. A financial firm might use this to pull live stock prices and historical trends to predict market shifts. 4. Graph RAG. This uses knowledge graphs, webs of interconnected concepts. If you ask, how is diabetes linked to heart disease? It maps relationships between symptoms, risk factors, and medical studies to explain the connection.
And Agentic RAG. That sounds like sci-fi.
It's the next leap. Agentic RAG adds AI agents, autonomous programs that collaborate like a team of experts. Let's say you're a doctor diagnosing a patient. Instead of one AI tool, you'd have Agent 1, pulling the patient's medical history. Agent 2, cross-referencing the latest clinical trials. Agent 3, checking for drug interactions. Together, they synthesize a treatment plan. It's dynamic, adaptive, and way more accurate.
How does this differ from regular chatbots?
Traditional chatbots follow rigid scripts. Agentic RAG agents reason. Let's say you ask, why is my package delayed? A basic chatbot might say, check the tracking number. An agentic RAG system would, 1. Pull the tracking data. 2. Check whether APIs for storms along the delivery route. 3. Scan logistics databases for warehouse delays. 4. Offer alternatives like pickup locations. It's like having a customer service rep, a meteorologist, and a logistics expert working together in real time.
Fascinating. Where is this tech being used today?
Let's look at real-world examples. Healthcare. At a hospital in Boston, Agentic RAG helps doctors diagnose rare diseases. It combines patient lab results with global research papers, flagging treatments a human might miss. Finance. Hedge funds use it to predict market trends. One system analyzes earnings reports, news sentiment, and even satellite images of parking lots to gauge retail traffic. Education. A university in California built an AI tutor that adapts to students' learning styles. If you struggle with calculus, it finds video tutorials, practice problems, and even schedules a study group. Legal tech. Law firms automate contract reviews. An agentic RAG system scans hundreds of pages, highlights risky clauses, and suggests revisions, cutting review time from days to hours.
What are the challenges? It can't all be smooth sailing.
Absolutely. First, coordination complexity. Imagine conducting an orchestra where each musician improvises. Keeping agents aligned is tough. Second, computational costs. More agents mean more servers, which gets expensive. Third, ethical risks. Agents might hallucinate false data or inherit biases from training data.
How are developers tackling this?
Tools like LangChain let engineers build modular pipelines. Think Lego blocks for AI. Llama Index specializes in document workflows, perfect for parsing legal contracts or medical records. For evaluation, benchmarks like Hotpot QA test multi-step reasoning. For instance, answering, who invented the light bulb and how did it impact industrial productivity, requires connecting history and economics.
What's next for Agentic RAG?
The future is collaborative. Picture AI teams where each agent has a specialty, a fact-checker agent verifying sources, a creative agent brainstorming marketing slogans, a compliance agent ensuring ethics. We're also seeing graph-based agentic RAG rise. For example, a climate scientist could ask, how do melting glaciers affect coastal cities? The system would map connections between ice loss, sea level models, and urban infrastructure plans.
Any final thoughts for our listeners?
Agentic RAG isn't just about smarter AI, it's about democratizing expertise. Small businesses could access Fortune 500 level analytics. Students in remote areas could get Ivy League quality tutoring. But we need guardrails, transparency, bias checks, and human oversight. The goal isn't to replace humans, it's to amplify our potential.
Incredible insights. Thank you for breaking down the future of AI in such a relatable way.
My pleasure. Keep an eye on this space. Agentic RAG is just getting started. Let's chat again soon.
Welcome back from break. We're continuing our deep dive into Agentic RAG, the AI breakthrough reshaping industries. Now, let's explore how this tech could transform supply chains, customer service, and even HR. Let's dive deeper into Agentic RAG with a practical business example. Imagine you're the CEO of Global Gadgets, a consumer electronics company struggling with supply chain disruptions. How could Agentic RAG help?
Great scenario. Let's break this down step by step.
Where do you start?
First, pinpoint the pain point. For Global Gadgets, it's frequent delays in shipping components due to geopolitical tensions, weather, and supplier bottlenecks. Traditional analytics tools can't react fast enough. Agentic RAG can dynamically pull real-time data, predict risks, and suggest workarounds.
So it's about turning chaos into actionable insights.
Exactly. Think of Agentic RAG as your 24/7 supply chain strategist.
What data would the system need?
Global Gadgets would integrate internal data, inventory levels, supplier contracts, production schedules, external data, whether APIs, shipping lane statuses, geopolitical news feeds, historical data, past disruption patterns, and recovery times.
That's a lot. How does Agentic RAG handle it?
With specialized agents, Risk Assessment Agent monitors news for events like port strikes or tariffs. Logistics Agent tracks real-time shipping data, e.g., a cargo ship stuck in the Suez Canal. Supplier Agent evaluates alternative suppliers' reliability and costs.
How do these agents collaborate?
Let's say a typhoon hits Taiwan, halting microchip production. Here's the workflow. Risk agent flags the typhoon alert and predicts a 2-week delay. Supplier agent instantly scouts backups. Supplier X in Vietnam can fulfill 50% of orders within 10 days but costs 15% more. Logistics agent reroutes shipments to avoid the storm, calculating new delivery timelines. Decision agent synthesizes options. Prioritize high margin products using existing inventory. Delay low-priority orders.
So it's like a SWAT team for supply chains.
Precisely. Each agent has a role, but they work together to solve the puzzle.
What tech stack would global gadgets use?
They'd leverage LangChain to build the agent workflows, e.g., connecting weather APIs to logistics data. Neo4j, a graph database to map supplier relationships and part dependencies. Llama Index, to parse complex supplier contracts and extract penalty clauses for delays. Azure AI Services and Azure Data Explorer, for scalable cloud processing to handle real-time global data and derive intelligence.
How long would this take to implement?
With a focused team, a prototype in 3 months. Start small, like automating weather risk alerts, then scale.
What KPIs matter?
Track reduction in downtime. Did Agentic RAG cut delays from weeks to days? Cost savings. Did rerouting shipments save millions in penalties? ROI. Compare implementation costs vs. recovered revenue. For global gadgets, the system reduced disruption response time by 60% and saved $2 million in Q1.
What could go wrong?
3 common pitfalls. Data silos. Ensure IT teams integrate legacy systems with new tools. Over-reliance on AI. Keep humans in the loop for final decisions. Ethical risks. Audit agents to avoid biased supplier recommendations, e.g., favoring vendors based on flawed historical data.
How do you build trust in the system?
Start with transparency. Show stakeholders how agents arrived at a decision, like a nutrition label for AI choices.
Beyond supply chains, where else could this apply?
Consider customer service. Agent 1 pulls a client's purchase history. Agent 2 analyzes sentiment in support tickets. Agent 3 recommends personalized discounts to prevent churn. Or HR, automating onboarding by guiding new hires through benefits, training, and compliance using real-time data.
Any final advice for leaders exploring Agentic RAG?
Start with a pilot. Pick a high-impact, data-rich problem. Partner with tech vendors who understand your industry. And remember, this isn't about replacing teams but empowering them. Imagine your employees freed from firefighting disruptions, focusing instead on innovation.
That's a wrap on our Agentic RAG deep dive. If you're a business leader, think, where could autonomous agents turn your chaos into clarity? Thanks for tuning in to AI on Advanced Intelligence. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with a friend who loves geeking out about AI. Until next time, stay curious. Summary of Agentic Retrieval Augmented Generation, a survey on Agentic RAG paper. Imagine you ask a chatbot about the latest breakthroughs in renewable energy, but it gives you outdated information from 5 years ago. Frustrating, right? This is where Retrieval Augmented Generation, RAG, comes in. Traditional RAG systems help large language models, LLMs, like GPT-4 pull in real-time data to provide accurate answers. But even RAG has its limits. It's like a librarian who can fetch books but can't adapt when you ask complex, multi-step questions. Enter Agentic RAG, a smarter evolution where AI agents take charge, making the system dynamic, reflective, and collaborative. Let's break it down. What's wrong with traditional RAG? RAG combines two superpowers. Retrieval, fetching real-time data from databases, APIs, or the web. Generation, using an LLM to turn that data into coherent answers. But traditional RAG has flaws. Static workflows. It retrieves information in a rigid, one-step process. For example, asking, "How do European renewable policies apply to developing nations?" might yield disjointed facts without connecting economic or environmental impacts. Poor context handling. It struggles to synthesize data from multiple sources. Think of it as trying to solve a puzzle with missing pieces. Scalability issues. Searching massive datasets slows it down, making it impractical for real-time tasks like stock trading. Agentic RAG. AI agents to the rescue. Agentic RAG adds autonomous AI agents to the RAG pipeline. These agents act like a team of experts, each with specialized skills. Reflection. Agents critique their own outputs. For instance, after drafting a legal contract summary, a second agent checks for errors or missing clauses. Planning. Breaking complex tasks into smaller steps. If you ask, what caused City X's population shift over the decade? The agent might first retrieve census data, then economic reports, and finally environmental studies. Tool use. Agents interact with external tools, need livestock prices, they'll pull from financial APIs, need a medical diagnosis, they'll cross-reference patient records with the latest research. Multi-agent collaboration. Different agents handle different tasks. One might analyze structured data like SQL databases, while another scans unstructured text like research papers. Architectures of agentic RAG systems. The paper outlines several designs, each suited to specific needs. Single-agent systems. A jack-of-all-trades agent handles retrieval and generation, simple but limited for complex tasks. Multi-agent systems. Specialized agents work in parallel. For example, answering economic and environmental impacts of renewable energy in Europe might involve. Agent 1 pulls GDP data from economic databases. Agent 2 searches academic papers for climate studies. Agent 3 checks news APIs for recent policy updates. Hierarchical systems. A manager agent delegates tasks to sub-agents, useful in finance, where a top agent might prioritize reliable stock data over social media trends. Corrective RAG. Agents iteratively refine results. If initial documents are irrelevant, they'll tweak the search query or fetch new data. Graph-based RAG uses knowledge graphs, think of a web of connected concepts, to answer relational questions like, how is diabetes linked to heart disease? Real-world applications. Agentic RAG isn't just theoretical, it's already transforming industries. Healthcare combines patient records with medical journals to suggest personalized treatments. Finance analyzes market trends in real time to recommend investments. Education creates adaptive learning tools that adjust explanations based on a student's progress. Customer support resolves complex queries, e.g., why is my package delayed? By pulling tracking data, weather updates, and logistics APIs. Challenges and tools. Agentic RAG isn't perfect yet. Key hurdles include coordination overhead. Managing multiple agents can get chaotic. Computational costs. More agents mean more processing power. Ethical risks. Ensuring agents don't hallucinate or misuse data. Developers use frameworks like LangChain for building modular pipelines, and Llama Index for document workflows to streamline implementation. Benchmarks like Hotpot QA for multi-hop reasoning help evaluate performance. The future of agentic RAG. this technology is a game changer. Imagine AI tutors that adapt to your learning style or legal assistants that draft contracts while flagging risks. But to get there, we need better benchmarks, ethical guidelines, and ways to reduce latency. Agentic RAG isn't just about smarter AI, it's about creating systems that evolve with our needs, making technology more intuitive and impactful. So next time you ask a question, remember, behind the scenes, a team of AI agents might be collaborating to give you the best answer possible. And that's pretty exciting.